Hello guys, this is your boy Chris and I'm just coming to you again with another video. This one's gonna talk about working, alright? Working on the Sabbath. Alright, I myself have experienced my few share of working on the Sabbath. Even professing to be, you're right, a Sabbath keeper. Alright, so that happened to me one of the time when I was working with a friend of mine, we were doing some renovation on our home for this guy, and he sent me to cut a piece of laminate, and that saw, when I went down there to cut that piece of laminate, it is like, you ever watch the movie called Saw? I get a little experience of that. That saw jig, when that saw jig my hand, and it went and it just ripped through the finger here, whoops, and it come all across way and it cut straight away. It's like, basically, me don't know what happened. Me don't know what happened. It's like a Final Destination scenario. The clock a tick, ting, chang, and everything is just going down the clock, till me step down the stairs, take up that piece of laminate foot. And nobody would see the danger. And, when you're watching the Final Destination, you start cringe now because you don't say, something not gonna happen now. But all in that moment, I didn't know what happened. When that saw licked me, I don't know what happened. One finger flies, so the other finger fly the other way. And the only thing we can do is just sit down in the corner and crawl up. Like when you just crawl up, you fold up yourself and you hold your hand. Somebody there was this girl come over and asked me, alright, you definitely can't lose two finger, alright. But there was blood all over the saw, blood splashed up on the house. It was a scene. The ambulance came, and I was in the hospital for a couple of days. And when I came out, man, and take a little while to rub. I couldn't even bathe myself good. It was in a little bit of pain and so forth, but because this was the hand that I used to do everything, So it was the hand that I used to do everything. So this hand, this was my left hand. I don't use the left hand that well. Even till now, I can't use my left hand so good. I have to be writing with this. Same way, I have to push the pen all the way and hold it like this. And write is like, now Kira, me try to use this right, is just nonsense. It's just, Kira, me practice nonsense. I can't hold, it's just complete nonsense. So yeah, that was the downhill for me when I lost those fingers. And guess what? Doctors tried to put on my finger. I know that little pinky was gone. It was gone. There was no saving that pinky. It was completely cut off. Nerves in this finger, all I could feel is just the phantom pain, But the finger, the big finger, they were trying to put it on. They stuck it on. They put leech on it. The leech that sucked blood. They were trying to get some form of blood to open up some vein. So they was trying to. When I look at this finger, man, they see all manner of needle and pin and all kind of stuff, just trying to catch back the big finger here. So, they did for a while. I was in the hospital for a while, and man, I tell you, some pain. When I say some pain hit me with this finger, my ball out, nurse. Nurse say, I come in. I said, nurse. Nurse say, I said, I come in. I said, some pain hit me with this finger, man. Because it bust all the way right across. I hit the finger, hit this finger, whoop, cut it off and come for the big finger and just and tear it off again. Man. But, I stood home for when I got back from the hospital. I couldn't go anywhere, I couldn't work, I couldn't do nothing. So, it had me there for a while, sitting down with a cast on my hand. Can't do anything. I was stressed out myself, me in a depression, all kind of stuff, because I figure out what I got to do now, and so on. So after the process of time, it get a little bit healing when we could have do, stuff with it and stuff like that, but not much. I was trying to seek out some help, but not much. The Virgin came together and helped me out a little, and so I needed to get back to work. I need to get back to job. I need to get a job. So how do I work? No. My dad worked at the airport, so he could pull a couple of string. He pulled a couple of string for me, and so I could get to work. And so when I went to go and to fill out the application, I've realized that I had to work on Sabbaths. I had to work on the Sabbath, which God forbids. So I give it a thought. I asked a couple of my brethren them, and I said, don't do it, Chris. One of the elders said, don't do it, Chris. But but I needed to work. Everybody can talk everything, so don't do this, don't do that, but you needed to work. Sometimes we have to experience things ourselves. So they were saying that I shouldn't, God will provide a way. If you don't work, you don't, man. Because remember, I can't do the work that I used to do because I don't have my hand anymore to do it, and my hand sometimes, get stiff up on me and all of that stuff. So I have to do all of that stuff. Like to deal with the pain and to deal with the phantom pain and all of that stuff. So I went to the airport. Those people who put the food on the plane and stuff like that. We were making those food to put on the plane. I wasn't working directly on the plane. So I had to work at a place called Gate Government at that time. Gate Government hired me. And I was working on the Sabbath. But before that, I went to look about the job. I went there for and I turned it down. I said, no, I'm not working on the Sabbath. There was this lady who was a driver with me. She was telling me that I could work one Sabbath or two Sabbath, but when you start work the one Sabbath and two Sabbath, every Sabbath that. Because they must say you do it once, you do it twice, then you can continue. And there are other people who want Sabbath working at the airport, want the Sabbath, they work weekends. Usually weekends they give to seniors, people who already unite. Because my dad worked at the airport and they give him like every Friday, every Saturday. Something with me with a long for. You understand? Him get every Friday, every Saturday. So that's his day off every single week. Friday, Saturday, you that. But me, a young person, they're not gonna give me that. So I just today though. That's today. I wouldn't even think of going there to work because it is a no-no. They wouldn't give me the time that I need. But before that, around like 28 to 08, 09, going somewhere there. I'm lying. God forgive me. It was 2013. 2013, a couple of years ago. When I was looking for some job. I went to the airport. No, my dad hooked me up on the work. He hooked up the work for me and they said I should come. So I went in there, explained to them my situation. And they came back to me. Everybody get whatever. They came back to me personally and said, you can get the job, but you have to work on Saturdays. Right? So I said, I can't work on Saturdays. I'm telling already I can't work on Saturdays. So he said, you can work one Saturday or one Saturday a week. But before that happens, for me to work that, they have to pass that to their administration. Right? One Saturday, two Saturday. So I turned it down first and then I went back. Went back home, sit down. And then another opportunity come again, and eventually I come and I say, all right, now I go take it. So that was when I start working now. Every Saturday. Every Saturday I have to get up and go to my bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. Go to work 6 o'clock. To be there for 6 o'clock. And for being there for 6 o'clock, I have to stay whole Sabbath working from 6 to 2. 6 to 2 to 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the evening. Then I came off. So, but for all that time, man, I was not at peace. I tell you that I was not at peace. Because I know that I should not work on the Sabbath. But eventually, because everybody has said to me, then that I wasn't this sensible enough, And it's like saying, sensible enough, but, pressure, people pressure you. God knows say you have to work on the Sabbath. God knows say you have to work. God knows say you have to pay bills. God know. You hear the story already. Those of you who are Saturday worshippers know the story that come up. Right? Well, you have to work. If you say I can't work on the Sabbath, well, God knows say you have to work. God knows say you have to pay your mortgage. He knows say you have to pay your bills. He knows say you have to pay your car rent. He knows say you have to pay your this. He have to pay. God knows say you have to take care of your wife. God knows, and it not stop. The list is a long list. God knows. So eventually, I could come to the idea that God knows I need God knows I need money. God knows I need this. God knows I need that. And you know the story already of God know. God knows everything. So I start work on the Sabbath. Weeks, I work on Sabbath until But just decided, say, you know what, I can't do this no more, man. I can't take it no more because my conscience was not setting me free, right? The conscience was not setting me free because it was a conscience thing. And number one, at work, you can't witness to nobody at work. And like I say, you can't tell people about God, but when it comes to the Sabbath, we are going to tell about Sabbath. We are going to tell, say, Sabbath keeping Christian. And so why you do this up on the Sabbath? Because I tried that already and that's what happened. You can't tell anybody about, say, today the Sabbath, when you are work. Yeah, when you are work on the Sabbath, then, you know, left that out of the argument a little bit. So till when you start, keep the Sabbath. Understand? So people have difficulties, especially Christians who really want to keep the Sabbath, but they are struggling with that, you know, that off time and not getting that off time. You know, and my prayer goes out for all of those people who want to have the weekend off. They want to get the Sabbath. And I'm not talking about those who them just want the weekend to go drink and splurge with them friends. Anyway, you're entitled to it too because God says we must rest on the Sabbath. So, but those who know, some people just they want that weekend where they can go and fellowship with their brethren. They want to go to a church. They want to find somewhere to worship. But God says, so that is the reason why sometimes it's more convenient too for people who know the Sabbath but still worship on Sunday because, you know, it's more convenient for them. It's more convenient for them. Well, I could work on the Sabbath and then, because if I don't work on the Sabbath, I can't pay my bills. I can't do this. I can't, and the list goes on. So, you know, and I'm not judging anyone to say because I myself have worked on the Sabbath for a good little while. But as I said before, my conscience would not sit well with me. So it was a day that I was coming from work, right? And I met in an accident. The car just right off. Blah. The car right off. And miraculously, God spared my life. I thank God for that because I could have died in the car accident. But the car right off and, you know, my dad was angry too because it was his car, you know. He was angry about it and, you know, eventually time we forget about it and, you know, but for that, look, I could have lost my life, you know, and it was, I think, was it a Sabbath? I don't remember if it was a Sabbath or it was a weekend, a day off, because they usually get like a day off, but they never give me Friday, Saturday. If they do give me Friday, Saturday, they give me Thursday and Friday, but not Saturday, right? So I didn't get the Sabbath. Anywhere near the airport life, once you're a newcomer, you have to work on the Saturday. You have to work on that Saturday. But God command you say, rest. So yeah, that was that experience for me. And for me, as I said, it wasn't a nice one because conscience sitting. And when your conscience start bother you, you're going to have second thoughts about whatever it is that you're having conscience over. Right? So my thing is this, that if you don't have to work on the Sabbath, don't do it. If you're a Christian, though, the cinnamon not really think that night, right? I may encourage the people who work 7 days a week for just stop, man. Stop and work 6 days a week. You understand? I mean, if you have to do it, then do whatever you have to do, right? Do whatever you have to do, right? But God says for his people, rest. Stop the working. No more work. This is my time. Come and spend some time with me. Right? So, but we constantly look away from God. I mean, and this is generally, including myself and I, we constantly look away from God and look into our own thing. We want to do our own thing out there. And, you know, God is not a part of it when God asks us to come apart and rest a while. You know? So, if you don't have to work on the Sabbath, then just don't work on the Sabbath. One of the best thing for Sabbath keeping Christian to do is to be self-employed. I can't stress that enough. Be self-employed. Be an entrepreneur. Be self-employed. The Bible says you must do your own business. Right? You must work and do your own business. That is exactly what the Bible says. Christians should work and do their own business. Because you know what? The time is going to come that for the Christians who are honoring the Lord and keeping his commandment, the time is going to come when they say, hey, you have to go work on the Sabbath, you know? Them short staff and them need more people. And you're going to say, no, I'm not going to be able from day one. You tell them that you don't have to work on the Sabbath. But they're going to try to pull string. And really it's not them, it's just Satan. It's just Satan trying to, you know, make something out of nothing, right? He's just trying to make something out of nothing. He's trying something that he never had problem with, right? Become a problem, right? So be loyal to God. Be loyal to God. If you're at a job and you hate that job, and you're a Sabbath keeping Christian, I would say to you that have faith. God will open a way for you. If you don't need that, just leave that job and do your own business. You have online business that you can start. You have income that you can receive weekly doing online business. If you can sell digital product, you can start opening up account with Amazon and do Amazon KDP books. You can become an author. You can become a self-published author. You can and make money on Amazon. You can do what is that again? You can do work from home business where you do what's that thing again? Because I was doing that. What do you call it? Oh man. Where you invite people. You invite people to be a part of a program. It's a network marketing thing but it's not really network marketing. It's a subscription marketing, right? You have people where you invite them in to subscribe to the program, and those people who come in get whatever their health program, whatever their product or whatever offer, you get it at a more wholesale, cheaper price than when you would regular buy it at some other places. So yeah, that could be one portion or one part or one option where you can have an income. You can sell digital product, you can sell digital you can do t-shirts, you can as I said before, you can become a self-published author. That's what I do. I do self-published author. I do it on Amazon KDP, right? Amazon KDP, and I just started and I like it because I could make my own coloring book, I could make my own puzzle book, I could make my own log book, journals, low content books, and so forth. A lot of people are making money on Amazon doing KDP stuff. You can do that as a Sabbath keeping Christian. You don't have to be working for people. There's a lot of side hustle that can retire you. There are great side hustles out there that can retire you. I just started with Amazon KDP and I like making the books. I like making the puzzle books, the coloring books, the journals, the log books, the Bible journals, books, stuff like those. I have fun making them, you know. Some take a little while to make, while others are just a breeze, you know. So you can do that if you're interested in that. You can visit Amazon KDP and you can sign up and become a self-published author and publish your book, you know, promote your book on social media, and so on. So yeah, so if you're a Sabbath keeping Christian and you're figuring out what you're gonna do, what you want to do, or you don't know, as it relates to work, you know, you can try that. You can make great Christian book. Maybe you have a book that you want to publish. You're a writer, you want to publish your Christian article. You can create that online. They have a lot of, I'm using this software called BookBolt. It's a great software. You can use it. You know, you can create your covers and you can format your stuff in BookBolt and download it and send it right to Amazon KDP, where you upload that book and you put in your information and boom, publish the book. Amazon will check upon it to see if there are any, you know, things that need fixing and so forth, and they'll get back to you in email and say, hey, this needs to be adjusted, this needs to be adjusted. But nothing to kill you, you know. You can do that if you want to for starters. There are some of us who are still living with our parents. Some of us young people who are still living with our parents. You don't work on Saturday, but you want to do something, you know, while you don't have a job. Let's say you graduate college and you know have anything. You're going to put in application, work, no work, anything. I can encourage you to start with Amazon KDP. You can go on YouTube. You can look and see if there's, you know, there are a lot of teachings out there on it. You can make coloring book, puzzle book, and so forth. That's just a tip I'm throwing in for those who want to, you know, become self-publisher. You have a book, maybe you have a book, you can publish it on Amazon, or you can publish it on your own website if you have a website. So there are different means, especially we're living in the last days, and we're in 2025. There's a lot of means or a lot of avenues. There are a lot of side hustles that you can hustle. You don't have to really work for anybody if you don't want to, right? So you have a choice whether you want to work. Gone are the days now, you know, gone are the days where you can if you have to be working for somebody. People do it, and hey, there's no crime in working for people, you know. But I think that should be a means to an end, where you work for somebody until you, whether you want to save up a lot of, get enough money to start your own business. And so, but a job should always be a means to an end, because you're using that to get somewhere else, to start your own business, start your own publishing, start your own, start your own stuff. So yeah, do that, but you don't have to work on the Sabbath. You have a lot of side hustles out there. You don't have to work on the Sabbath. And I said that as long as you're getting weekend off the job, I say go for it. As long as you're getting your weekend off of a job, go for it. As long as they're not giving weekend, turn your back on it and walk away, because it's not that important. Yes, you need the money. Yes, you need a job. But God says, thou shalt not work. Always remember that, Sabbath keepers. We have our fair share. Some of us are still working on the Sabbaths. But as I said, God didn't put me a police over nobody, the police no one. God, I'm not responsible for that. You have your sin, I have my sin that we need to repent for and move along with Christ, right? So I'm just saying that as you come in, when your mind, when your conscience start eat at you, then I think it's time that you lose that job and try something different. Right? There are many people doing jobs that they hate and they don't realize that they can't do their own job. Remember, the boss want you. He want what you have, but say you want you. You can use what you have to build a profitable business. Right? Being a Christian. You can do, as I said before, work from home, publishing your journal, publishing your articles, publishing your ebooks, publishing your low content books. You can do that as a Sabbath keeping Christian, right? While you're doing side hustles on the side, you're making passive income, monthly residual, doing all of that stuff with that stuff. All right. So again, you don't have to work on the Sabbath. God forbids it. And I'm just encouraging you. As I said before, I was working on the Sabbath. And by the grace of God, I stopped. I made in an accident and I decided, hey, I quit that job. I ain't working no more until today. I'm gonna really work on the Sabbath. I've never worked on the Sabbath from that time onward, and I'm still here, right? God is providing, and He will continue to provide. God, the word of inspiration said, God have 1,000 ways in which to provide for us, what we don't know nothing about. So let us stop worrying. Nobody listen to the people who go talk about, well, God knows this. God knows that. God knows your bills are big. God knows everything. God also knows that He can provide for you. Right? So let us just trust Him and just continue to believe what He says and do what He says, right? Until next time, this is your boy Chris. That's my encouragement for you. You're watching I Am a Witness. Until then, stay true to God and true to yourself. Peace. I'm out.